Hey, you guys. How you feeling? Yes. See, I'd like to hear that. Because earlier when Vincent got up here, everybody was so cold. You know, so cold. They weren't warmed up. I'm glad that you're warmed up now. Okay, so I basically have to say all the same things that Vincent said, but just a little bit different. One of the things that he said that I really liked was talking about how long this has been going on. So any of you that have been here to every single one, can you raise your hands? Yes. So you have seen this grow. And if you have been to a handful, can you raise your hands? Yes. So you know what this is about. And if you were here last year, you know that what I'm going to do, and Vincent just told you that I'm going to ask you for money in a little bit. So you know that now, so you don't have to be worried. But I'm going to tell you a little story first, and hopefully, there's payoff, right? But if you want to get your phones out, there's the QR code right on your table. And here's a trick that hasn't been mentioned tonight. That QR code will link to something that you can send to people that aren't in the room, and they can donate too. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But the thing that I was thinking about as I was getting ready for tonight was that I stood up here last year. I stood up here last year and I was like, it is so cold out. And the cultural headwinds had changed and it was cold in. And here we are a year later and somehow it is even colder out. And somehow those cultural headwinds have made it even colder inside. In fact, in my life, there has never been a moment where the powers that be have tried more to make us feel divided, have tried to make us feel that we don't have any power, that we have no agency, that we should just sit back and let it all happen. But this night, tonight, is an example, is a shining inspiration that we do have power, that we do have agency, that we can make things happen. Because the thing that brought us all here tonight is that some people decided it was a good idea to do this. And then they did all of the work. It's so much work to organize an event like that. They did all that work to create this opportunity so that we could all be here together. So that we could move and dance and talk and remember in our bodies that we can make change, that we can move, that we are alive. And as you all know, because Vincent told you, but as you all know now, again, this night is not just about that opportunity that was made for us. This night is about our opportunity to build opportunities for others. And so this is a good time to have that phone, look at that QR code, think about what you can give, because it doesn't have to be a lot. It can be a lot. But it doesn't have to be a lot, because every single little bit that we can give can help build that opportunity for someone else. And that is an incredible thing. Vincent talked about what it is, not just to give money, but to build relationships. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. But there is really something about having the power to give opportunities to others that reminds us of our humanity. It reminds us of what we can do. So I ask you to come and participate in the experience of being human, of building opportunities for others that don't have them, at whatever level you can. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. I'm not going to talk for a long time because we have to get back to the dancing, the moving, and the feeling ourselves be alive. But when I was thinking about what I was going to say tonight, I consulted the great prophet, KRS-One, as I often consult before I have an opportunity to speak, because that man knows what to do with a microphone. And in his 2006 Canadian Music Award talk, which you should all watch on YouTube because it is one of the most inspirational things that I have ever seen. He talks about the birth of hip-hop. He talks about the way he and other hip-hop pioneers built value where there wasn't any value. And what he says, and this is really, Vincent and I didn't talk about exactly what we were going to say, but he said this earlier, and I was like, oh good, we're going to coordinate. when KRS-One was talking about how they built hip-hop and built value, he said, when somebody came and they were rapping, it could have been easy to be like, shh, no, that's whack, I'm not into it. But instead, if you take the opportunity to see what somebody is doing and value it in whatever way you can. Of course, I want you to get out the phone and make the donation. But any kind of value you can bring, any kind of opportunity that you have, this is what Vincent said, and this is what I'm saying, and this is what KRS-One says in everything that he does. If you have the opportunity to build value for somebody, if you can compliment somebody, if you can build somebody up, if you can build that relationship, that is power. And that's a power that we all have. And we all have that tonight, and we have that every night, and hopefully we have that again next year in this place at this time, hopefully a little bit warmer in all ways. But let us hold that feeling of power as we dance tonight and then go out and face those winds. So, thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. And thank you for being here. And donate.
Well, thank you so